my name is Apolo. I'm part of Group 2, and today we want you to learn how to communicate and cultivate relationships. Communication is the fuel that keeps the fire of your relationship burning. Without it, the relationship goes cold. William Paisley. Have you ever started a relationship without communication being involved in it? It's pretty hard, since this is the tool to build up a relationship. This creative instrument has enabled most, if not all of us, to enter into the beginning stages of what it takes to begin and cultivate relationships. It's my heart's desire that we nurture the relationships that we have started and allow them to flourish by knowing how to use communication correctly. Thus, this will prevent them from deteriorating. Therefore, learning about the basic characteristics of communication, how intimacy and interpersonal relationships work with communication, developing relationships through communication, and being a responsible communicator will push us to use it wisely and correctly. So, let's start from the basics. What is interpersonal communication? It is a certain type of communication that happens between individuals while they treat each other as unique and their conversation is personalized. Some of the significant features that this type of conversations have are: they are personalized, as I mentioned, they occur in relationships, and they are influenced by culture and gender. Conversations are personalized since they treat topics specifically related to the people involved in the conversation. Commonly, this happens in small groups, like 4, 5, or less people, obviously with some exceptions. This type of conversations involves responsiveness between the people talking. It might include specialized vocabulary, nicknames, or nonverbal gestures that only the people in the conversation will understand. Actually, to be able to have a conversation, an interpersonal communication, there needs to be a relationship to sustain it. Otherwise, it won't work. More in depth, the nature of relationships will influence the content that is being communicated. For example, if a mom and a daughter are talking, they might talk about food, clothes, maybe friends, and such things. Well, this won't be a type of conversation for a teacher and the student unless they're good friends, or maybe a worker and his or her boss. So they will talk maybe about their work, homework, while in other case, best friends will talk about other topics completely different. So there's a diverse type of conversations. With each one, the interaction and the information is different. Also, the way we interpret the messages is different from person to person. Nevertheless, it is important to check if what we interpret from the conversation is what it really means. This way, we eliminate confusions and misunderstandings. Lastly, it is critical to know that culture and gender shape communication. Sometimes it is unnoticeable until it causes problems. However, it is important to anticipate them. For example, I have a Hispanic background, so in Spanish we have two types of treating a person. For example, for the word you, we have two different words, tú or usted. This differentiation is to treat someone with respect or someone who is very close or in a normal, typical conversation. This distinction doesn't exist in English. So it's important to understand the background and the culture the person you're talking to comes from. Same way happens between a man and a woman. We have different perspectives. According to our book, Communication in a Changing World, girls are more emotional and indirect, while boys are task-driven and direct, between other stuff. So the perception of a message can differ between a guy and a girl. For example, in this picture, we can see that the girl might be talking about important things for her that are details and emotional stuff, while the guy doesn't care so much about these things. That's why he gets lost. However, it's not his fault. It's just he's not interested in those kind of things. So, knowing that communication has styles and behaviors linked to the receptor culture and gender will help us to communicate better. So, by knowing that interpersonal communication is personalized, occurs within a relationship, it's influenced by culture and gender, you're a step ahead to use communication carefully to build up your relationship.